Welcome, everyone. I am so excited. We have Dr. Michael Christie, a certified trainer who lives, I think, on the East Coast somewhere. He is
Somewhere in
going
the
to
East
be,
Coast.
yeah, where he's going to be speaking today. He is I want to use the word, is it pastor? Is that the right word? Or minister? Pastor.
Yes.
He's a
Mm-hmm.
pastor. And you work in the correction systems as a
Yes.
chaplain, and you
Mm-hmm.
are actively pastoring. That's probably not
Yes.
the right word,
Mm-hmm.
on Sundays as well. And I'm so excited. And I want to say that Trisha Martin is here as well. Trisha Martin is our support and a certified trainer and an organizer, and she's terrific as well. She's going to be helping us out. If you have technical questions, ask. So back to Dr. Michael Christie. Really glad you're here, Michael. You're going to be one of our core trainers in Wisconsin starting April 26th. And by the way, early bird ends in a week. So you should tell your friends and your enemies to go and register right away. I'm going to hand this over to Michael. We're going to do about 45 minutes, roughly, maybe an hour with Michael, and then we'll do some logistics questions with the team. There we go. Michael, welcome. I'm really glad you're here.
Yes. Well, good afternoon where I am. I'm not sure where everyone else is. Maybe you can share that with us in the chat. That would be great to know. So glad to be here and so glad to meet all of you. Thank you, Eric, for your intro and for my good friend Trish for also being here and for all of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here today. Today, I want to talk a little bit about something NVC calls essentially how we can listen to difficult messages. And I know that the IIT that we are having in Wisconsin has to do about all the polarity that is happening in the world. And there certainly is a lot of it. And it's absolutely draining, I imagine, on your nervous ecosystem. It certainly is on mine, on the body. And it's really important for us to have some tools to kind of regulate those things so we can process and navigate and not just survive these moments, but really kind of thrive in this moment and be empowered in a way that we can shift some of what we engage with. So I'm very curious uh, if you could give me a one word description of what your inner weather is like right now. What are you showing up with? You can share. It's only a few of us. You can unmic. If you don't feel like unmicing, you can put it in the chat, and I'll ask Trish to monitor the chat for me if you don't mind. Oh. One word describing your inner weather right now.
I would say conflicted.
Conflicted. Thank you. Thank you, Julia.
Pam wrote gratitude and tenderness.
Gratitude and tenderness. Thank you, Pam. Anyone else wanted to share? All right, so we'll get into it. I believe we have, if we were to do breakouts, we'd probably have to do dyads, and how many would we have? Two? Two dyads? Okay, that will work. We'll make it work. Yeah, so the idea and the concept about having for a different kind of listening in NVC speak to the idea that essentially there's two pathways for that listening. One is that we often blame ourselves when we hear something that doesn't tingle our sense of joy and connection, um, or we blame the other person for what was said when it was said, or we have empathy, and empathy comes in two ways. Empathy comes in terms of self-empathy, how we care for ourselves, how we kind of connect to our own feelings and needs in a given moment when we hear something that um, rattles our nervous system, triggers us, or we can have empathy for the other person. And one of the beauty and challenges of NVC is that the stuff sounds so simple, but it's not always easy. And the way we kind of become better at all of this is things like the IIT, where you're immersed in really redesigning your nervous system to kind of take on more, embody more of this work. So it's easier. You're never fully there, so to speak. We're a work in progress. We're always growing as human beings and learning and developing. But this really stretches your nervous system in a way that you'll, if this stuff matters to you, you'll come out ahead of the game in terms of, it's almost like having, I ran track, and if you had given me a jump start, head start, I mean, I'd love that, especially if I'm slow. And I think workshops like the IAT kind of gives us a jump start to really take advance in the practice and the embodiment of the work that we're trying to do. So all of us have heard different conversations and messages that were challenging to us, especially nowadays, in this environment, regardless of the side of the political fence that you sit on. It can be challenging. And so the invitation as we do this work is to not take something on a scale of 1 to 10 to stay 3 or less, because our nervous system don't learn if we're trying to do something that is really higher than that. You're going to just have internal triggers, and you won't get the most value out of the practices if you select an example that has some high intensity on it. So I'll invite you to pause and to be cautious about that. Um, I'm wondering, Trish, if it makes sense to post the stuff in the chat now. And just before we launch into that, I want to invite you to just a grounding moment before we shift into doing what can be a little slightly heavy lifting. I just saw Yusuf's, my husband. I'm not sure what that means, Yusuf. Could you say a little bit more in the chat? I saw you put my husband.
Yusuf was saying where she's from as that, and that was
Yeah,
my understanding.
I think Julia put it as
And
we both
Julia,
live in
yeah.
Virginia. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Thank you. So here's the invitation if you choose to participate, just for you to settle yourself, ground yourself, plant your feet on the ground. You can have your eyes open or your eyes closed, whatever feels safe, welcoming, and warm to you. And for a moment, I just invite you to take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. A few more of those, just to settle your nervous system and whatever your weather pattern was when you came, that you're able to hold it with care and tenderness in this moment. 2 more breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And as you're sitting and feeling the weight of your body, I just want you to scan your body. Just sense it from head to toe, from toe to head. Not looking for anything, but just noticing what might show up in your body. And now I'm going to, and I always get tripped up with this word, so Eric might have to help me. How Hokopono, how do you say that, Eric?
I learned it as Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono. Okay, so the whole region, Ho'oponopono. Thank you. Which is in a Hawaiian meditative practice for grounding. We're going to practice that today. And the version I'm using is such. I'm going to repeat the word, and you kind of say to yourself silently, and then just listen. Listen to yourself, sense yourself. I am sorry, acknowledging any pain or disconnection you might have been carrying. Please forgive me, releasing any judgment that you might be holding against yourself or anyone else. I love you. Just to return to the foundational needs and need for connection and safety. And thank you. Gratitude for the capacity to learn and to grow. I'll do it one more time. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And thank you. And take one more deep breath in, really focusing in the heart center as you breathe it in. Exhale. When you're ready, you can return to the room, open your eyes. Yeah, and come back to the space. I'm curious what that was like for folks doing that. And did a particular phrase resonate with you in a particular way? And I'll repeat the phrases. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you and thank you.
It's not easy to say that to myself.
Thank you, Paul. Which part was not easy to say?
I love you was the hardest.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was the tough one.
And I'm curious, did you how did you sense that in your body?
I think it was in my diaphragm.
Yeah, thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that. Anyone else? What was those words like saying to yourself in a
I,
particular phrase? Yes, go ahead,
I think
Julie.
in saying I'm sorry to myself, I realized that I say I'm sorry a lot, but not to
Mm.
myself.
Ah.
So it's a familiar phrase, but
Mm-hmm.
when I applied it, because like I said in the beginning, I'm feeling a little bit conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
But when I took the time to just say I'm sorry, to me, it felt relieving.
Wonderful. Nice. So just the self-awareness, like you're often saying, acknowledging and saying sorry to others, and but not really um, sorry, self-awareness and empathy to yourself. And in doing so, it just felt uh, your word was relief. And I'm imagining an openness, an opening. I don't know if that's the same for you that occurred with those words.
Um, I think I think it could be more of an openness. I think the
Mhm.
relieving that I felt in in my mind was of, able to make me be more open. So I do
Yeah,
feel more open after the exercise.
yeah, thank you. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
For me, it was forgiveness, forgiving myself.
Yeah.
To piggyback on what Julia said, I think I forget or forgive, but it's I felt it in my head When you said it, that it kind of annoyed for some reason. Wasn't peace still, didn't uh couldn't forgive me at that moment still.
Okay, so I want to make sure, Yusuf, am I speaking to, is this Yusuf?
Yes. Yeah.
I want to make sure I understand you. So when you heard the phrase, please forgive me, you sensed it in your head. And I think I heard something that it was kind of challenging for you to say that to yourself, or
Yeah.
to feel that, or to forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Hmm. Anyone else want to share? One more, and then we'll continue into the practice. Okay, so we have posted the exercise for a brief breakout, brief conversation, and I'm wondering, because of the size, if we can do it in the space. Now, let me give you your own space, and then we'll come back and we will unpack it. So with the instruction are posted in the chat. So we can forget role C, because we're just going to do dyads unless we're able to do triads.
Well, we could do one as a triad.
Okay, no
Maybe,
worries.
so does that include Pam or not include Pam?
No, Pam put an equal sign in front.
Yes,
I could
and I
go
was
into a room
just
with someone if that helps.
I was going to suggest, if you don't want to participate in a breakout, then put an equal sign there so we'll know if it even makes sense to go to a breakout, since it's a small group. And I'll give you a moment to
Okay.
contemplate that.
We just lost Quincy, so
We lost Quincy. Uh-huh.
one of the Quincy's. We have two.
Ah,
Okay.
thank you.
So we're going to be in dyads.
Mm-hmm.
And for how long would you like them to be in
I
breakouts?
would like each person to be able to go through the four listening for themselves. If we have a third person, if the Eric, did you have plans for us as trainers to do stuff on the break, or no?
I mostly hang with you guys because I kind of like you guys. That's it.
Okay. I was going to suggest, maybe as we can decide whether or not we have a third person play the role of observer. And so the invitation is to select a message that you've heard on the scale of 1 to 10, is a 0 to 3 in terms of its energy, its impact, its trigger and volume. So we can learn and really sink into the exercise without triggering in our fight flight system. And so person A will speak and share. Person B will listen to what person A is saying. And why don't we give it a total of 6 and 6? So I'd say 12 minutes. And if the groups feel like they want some more time, they can let us know. We have a little wiggle room to kind of extend it out to more time. Is there clarity so far in what I'm requesting in terms of the breakout?
I think
Yes?
the trigger, is it what we just discussed, like what we heard?
So you can harvest from what you just heard, or you can create just a message you've heard today, this week, something that landed on you in a way that wasn't pleasant, that you know, but I don't want it to be too intense. So let me try to think of an example that might be. As a matter of fact, I believe the um the instruction has examples. Did I post examples in terms of how intense you want it to be? So what happened to me today that okay, so today I overbooked 2 appointments earlier in the morning, and I was a little anxious about that. It could be something that simple, or it could be, oh, you know what? I'm trying to lose weight, and I told myself I'm going to cut out carbs, and I went and had a bagel with cream cheese. Um, that's really low on the scale, but I'm looking for, yeah, something with a little teeth in it. I did not give the examples. Um, was that was that helpful, Julia?
Yes, I think I was going for something lower on the scale, and then you just said you want something with some teeth in it. So,
Oh no, 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 no. The teeth, those is no more than 3, right? So 0 to 3, whatever teeth it has, that's all you can bite. Thank you for that. That was mixed metaphor. Yes. No, I don't want something heavy. I don't want something heavy, not too heavy. Certainly not for the first round of this, just so we can practice and embody it. So one person speak, the other person listens to what is being shared. And at the end of it, there are some reflection questions that I'm asking you to consider. That is also in the chat. And those reflection questions are, um, which one of the listening felt most familiar to you? Like what was most comfortable, what was automatic? Essentially, what was your preference in listening? And the reflection question number 2 is, what happened, if you notice, to your breathing or your body tension during the blame section versus during the sensing empathy section? And so, as we mentioned earlier, there's a part of us when we hear something that we either blame ourselves or others. And the invitation is for us to consider shifting, if you're not already doing so, to what I call sensing yourself, which is, am I sensing myself in terms of self-empathy, connecting with my own feelings, connecting with my own needs, or can I sense what is happening for the other person, connecting to their feelings and to their need? So those are the 4 ways of listening. And as you go through it, I want you to go through each of those things, those listening phases, and see which one kind of felt the easiest to you, which one resonated with you, which one you struggled to do. Does that make sense? Yes. Thank you, Julia, for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Any other questions? All right. With that being said, I
So the
believe we're
stars have aligned, and so
the
we just
stars
have
have
3
aligned.
people that want to go into breakout. So there'll be 3. Triad. Is that good? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And we'll keep the same time. We've got 12 minutes with 1 minute for return.
Yes.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Here we go.
How to come out the room. That was interesting. So thank you for the brave ones, for all of us that participated in that. Thank you for doing that. And for the ones that your needs were for just to be still or silent and just reflection, not to engage, which is also welcome. I'm curious what that was like for Julia and Yusuf, if they're willing to share, and if anything emerged for them from the exercise, or any questions in how to do the exercise? Either way.
I thought it was helpful to practice what we instinctively as humans want to do, which is place blame.
Hmm.
And it was a safe place to just place blame.
Hmm.
And then I was immediately like, you immediately place the blame, and then you're allowed to then immediately practice empathy.
Hmm.
So I thought that was good that I could kind of get my rant out
Yeah.
and then immediately go into self work.
Mm. And what felt most familiar, most automatic for you? Which one of the ears?
Blaming others.
Blaming others, of course. Yes, thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone. Many of us have that gift of blaming others. Yeah, including myself. Yusuf, are you willing to share?
Um, a bit, I find it a little confusing, but once you understand the practice,
Mhm.
it does feel nice. It kind of all the like Julia share, you rent, but you also try to understand your needs and feelings towards that behind it, and trying to be in touch with yourself a little better. A lot of time I find myself uh, um, not doing that, and just focus on the issues or the problems, but not see why or how it makes me feel. So it was nice to get a sense, even though it was a small practice, to sense like what it meant for me, even just a little small issue that I shared.
Mm, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we start off lightweight so we can get the nervous system okay with that. We're not going to do anything more today, but that's just a taste of kind of the work you might be sitting with at the IIT, so you can really sink in deeper or sink in with heavier things depending on where you are. And I have one point of maybe clarity. I'm not sure I did this well in the instruction regarding the sensing of self and others. I mentioned this to Julia and Yusuf in their breakout, that when you're sensing self and others is really how we offer empathy to ourselves or to other people. And in that sensing of self, I have a very simple formula I use in my head. Uh, it's E equals F plus N. You know, empathy equals feeling and being aware of my feelings and connecting that feelings to what my need or needs might be. And it's the same formula for myself. It's that I apply to others. That when I'm looking at others, and depending on how triggering the moment is, sometimes it's difficult to really have empathy for your enemy or empathy for someone else that you are wanting to blame. And it's necessary, I find, that you're giving yourself self-empathy before you try to give empathy to other people. But it's the same formula. Offering empathy is about how do I connect with my feelings and how do I translate those feelings to needs. And I do the same thing for the other person that I'm often pointing the finger or blaming or I'm frustrated with. So I wanted to give that point of clarity. I'm noticing the time, so I'm going to pause there. If is there any other questions from those present that I can respond to, answer? Otherwise, I'll hand it over to Eric. In your court, sir, Eric.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, that was really helpful. So now is an opportunity to ask any questions in general about the IIT or any questions you might have on your mind.
Kind of a logistics question. We're trying to figure out which airport to fly into. I know they were chatting about a carpool being available. Is it one airport more than another where that carpool is typically available, or would you recommend like flying into Chicago, even though it's farther, but there's more transport options from there? So I'm just curious.
Yeah, thanks. Are we ready to transition to the logistics questions? I wasn't quite.
We just did that. Yeah.
Thanks, sorry. I was working on a different IIT. I apologize. So I shouldn't cheat on this IIT. Anyway, thank you, Julia. There are 3 airports that are closer: Madison, Milwaukee, and it turns out Appleton. And there's even Green Bay. Appleton is the closest. I don't yet have an idea of where where more people will fly into. We have this strange thing. So the other thing is, so the real answer is I don't know right now, Julia. I'm sorry. What I'll try to do is to get the carpool sheet up in the next week or so, and we'll see if people are able to offer carpools and from which airports. Maybe that's what I'll do. So I appreciate the question. I personally am looking at Appleton or Green Bay right now. So there's actually 4. This is the problem. There's 4 airports within an hour and 30 minutes. I don't have a good answer for you, Julia. I'm sorry. But we do have people coming from all over the Midwest. So a drive-in, you should be able to figure out something. I'm sorry, I can't give you any more specific than that.
No, that's okay. Would you by chance be able to talk about the like a mock schedule? Like what activities do we do during the day?
Yeah, I could do that for sure. I'd love actually to hear more of Trisha's voice. Trisha, would you be willing to just kind of give a general framework for how the days work for us?
Yeah. So, and please chime in with anything that I leave out. So it's basically set up to provide trainers to give different topics, and so they have a theme for each day. So each day has a different theme, and the opportunity is to offer a few different topics from the different trainers. So that's the beauty of having a number of trainers. So you can experience their different approaches. And so it's very structured. I'm not 100% sure for this particular IIT, but there's a breakfast in the morning, and then there's typically a session, and then there's a lunch, and then you have a support system with your home group, it's called. And so you typically meet with that home group, oftentimes in the afternoon. Then there can be another session. And they also want to build in time for integration so it's not too jam-packed. And so that's what the meal times provide. And so then there's the evening meal. And then at the end of the day, there's oftentimes sessions offered by participants. So you have different people that want to offer different sessions. And sometimes also in the mornings, sessions are offered by participants, which are, like yoga or stretching, that kind of thing. So that's generally what it looks like. And like I said, with different themes for each day. Of course, the first day and the last day are slightly different because that's when everybody's arriving and then everybody's departing. But that's general. Is that anything you want to add, Eric, or any questions, further questions you have, Julia?
Yeah, thanks. I think you got it. There's a theme each day. Breakfast, opening circle, first session taught by core trainers like Michael. Lunch. And then the afternoon will be a mix of things, but there'll be another session taught by core trainers. There'll be this thing called a home group where you get together with 2 or 3 or 4 other people. And then there'll be a closing circle and then dinner. And then there's the evening activities. So evening activities are completely participant run. So, you know, someone will bring a guitar, someone will bring their voice, someone will bring a drum, multiple drums. Someone might bring a banjo. That happens often. And they'll be singing, and they'll be dancing in the evening as well. The dancing will go until somebody complains about the noise usually. And then as Tricia said, participants can offer things. They can offer stuff in the morning. They can offer lunch tables, breakfast tables, dinner tables, table topics, that kind of thing. And yeah, so we're going to provide a whole bunch of structure, and then Julia, you get to choose what you want to do, what you want to not do. So we had one guy who came only to the opening and closing circles, and then he went hiking the whole time, and then at night he would dance. I don't know why anyone would do that, but that's what he chose to do. So yeah. Julia, does that answer your question? Do you have any additional questions?
No, that was it. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing is, so there'll be something called requests and offerings. So you could actually request things too. We'll have probably a big sheet of paper up, and we'll put up little post-its, and you'll say, I really want to talk about this Ho'oponopono thing that Michael talked about, or the 4 ears. Could you teach this on Tuesday or whatever it is? So you can do that as well. Or I really need to run to the grocery store and get some mac and cheese. Could someone go get it for me, or that kind of thing?
My husband has read the book. We're doing the NVC for couples course right now, and then we're just kind of taking the risk, and we signed up for this. So we're very virgin. Is there any reading that I should do? Can I come completely unprepared?
I would definitely encourage reading, and there's many books. You can go onto Puddle Dancer Press, and there's NVC Academy, so there's different resources where you can go to get some ideas. I don't know, and I know that Eric has some suggestions in the information that's sent out to participants, so you can go look at the trainers' websites and get lots of links. And then, of course, there's quite a few videos of Marshall himself, the founder of Nonviolent Communication. So I would definitely encourage you to dig in and check out as many resources as you can. And just to reiterate, what's really helpful about IITs is you have a number of trainers. So oftentimes, you find that you resonate more with certain trainers. So that's what's really helpful in, getting a sense of the different approaches of each trainer.
Got it. Thank you.
So Julia, I would recommend Marshall's book just to read. Just keep in mind that it's a very instructional book. It's going to be much more fun and enriching when you're sitting with Dr. Michael Christie, and you're sitting with Tricia, and you're sitting with Pam. And you're sitting with Yusuf, right? And learning together. That's the enriching part. So I absolutely recommend just reading the book. And then what Tricia said is, actually, if you go to CNVC, the YouTube to CNVC, our channel, there's a whole bunch of videos of Marshall now. So thank goodness they actually have started to put the videos there. So it's one easy place to get everything. If you can't find it for some reason, Julia, you got my email address. Just email me and I'll send you links.
Pam just posted something. A video link.
So Pam and I both did. So there's some resources in the chat for you, Julia.
Right.
Thanks so much.
The one I put in there is Marshall's NVC Basics from 2000 in San Francisco. It's the, I think of it as the red shirt one. It's really fun. It's fun to watch together. He was very just so much what's the word? What is that word?
Flow. It was flow. It was
Give us some hints. How many syllables?
Young people now just use the first syllable of the word to mean it.
Mhm.
Charismatic. Oh, the second syllable, I mean. They say
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
Riz. So, yeah, he was so charismatic and so fun to watch. It's easier to watch that, I think, than the book. But the one that I found was only an hour and a half, and I think that NBC Basics from 2000 in San Francisco is actually like 6 hours long, so you might have to keep looking. Looks like in Puddle Dancer Press, or was it on CNVC.org that Eric was saying you can find all of them?
YouTube.
YouTube, that's where I found this one, and I've watched it many times.
Yeah. And that's the video that I watched 5 times and thought I knew everything I needed to know about NBC. And then I went to an IIT. Thank
Yeah,
you, Julia.
there's
Go
definitely
ahead,
something.
Michael. Sorry.
There's definitely something about being present. There's an embodied energy of everyone that is seeking to learn, to understand, to grow. And that in of itself is not in the book. Can't get it from a book. You can only get it from a community that is there and not even online as it is when you're in person, right? So there's a real energetic body when we are there with our bodies to embody the work that we're trying to do. And so my experience has been that you get a whole lot more ahas from being in the IIT. And because you're so immersed in it, this is all you're doing. We're not trying to do anything else. You're just being fully present. If you come fully present, that, sometimes it shakes some of your core things, which is good, right? To make space for growth. And so I would say just come, and like you said, I think you said, I don't know if this was the correct language, you and your husband are virgins to this or newbies. And that's great. You just come with a sense of openness, as the Buddhists would say, with a child's mind, um, just to absorb and to learn and not to already know this mentality. Because even as trainers, when we go to these things, we're constantly learning as well from each other, from that energetic body that I talked about, that some of your own kind of stuff that because we know how to hide well from ourselves, might show up, might meet you there. And you get to make some real profound and powerful shifts if you come there with that intention.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a lifelong practice. So, um,
Yeah, no, I
it's,
think we're excited. We're
that's
nervous
great.
excited.
Yeah. Yeah. How
Good
did you
place to be.
become acquainted with NVC? How were you introduced to it?
For Yusuf's working right now, so I don't know if he is able to answer you, but it's really all him. He loves to read um kind of just different psychology books or whatever, and it came recommended on his platform, I'm sure. And then he just kept bothering me with this book that he really liked to read as an audiobook, I think.
Oh,
So I've only heard bits and pieces. I didn't find the who do you call that person who's reading it? The reader or
mm-hmm.
the voice. I didn't like the voice, so I'd rather just read it physically, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's really taken to it. And so that's how we kind of got into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, we're practicing guessing our little
Uh-huh.
empathy guests and stuff.
Yes,
So
Yeah.
that's the
yes,
fun
Right.
thing that we're trying to do every day.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's so challenging shifting from our habits. Instead of you are, it's are you, and I statements. Um, Pam put a really good resource in the chat, just making sure you're checking the chat. Oren J. Sofer, his book. And he's also got a whole website and all kinds of resources too. So again, it kind of depends on the flavor that you like, what resonates with you. And that also changes over time.
Yeah, I have a question. So the title or the agenda of this IIT is collaborative living in polarized times, right? Um, is it the trainings are going to be mostly focused on around this topic, or versus, versus other topics? What might be different coming to this specific IIT than any other, I guess, agendas or topics that are already out there?
Yeah. So Eric, if you could take this one, you've been involved with this IIT from the beginning. So
Yeah, thanks. Honestly, everyone is different and everyone is the same. I don't know how to say. So, the themes for me tend to be around it's challenging times. And I think it is challenging times for me, at least right now. And much of what's the same is that it's really inner work. I mean, it's really inner work. I can blame Michael and Trisha for all of my internal pain. Michael
And he
ate the
often does.
last bagel or took all the cream cheese, and Trisha ate the last cookie, and I feel miserable today. But really, it's about, for me, NVC is about first the inner work of developing this vocabulary of feelings and needs. And then we fit that into the theme. And this actually goes back to the way I learned Ho'oponopono, Michael, which is that if I change myself, I can change the system because I'm part of the system. The more I work on myself, the more my experience of the world changes, and the more I can change the way the world shows up. So, Yusuf, when you ask that question, it's a great question. And I can only give you my general answer, which is, it is the work that I perceive, my judgment, my discernment is that you are doing now. It's asking these questions of yourself, and then asking these questions of the people around you and supporting each other. And the magic of being in person and embodied, as Dr. Christie just said, is that you get to do it for 9 days straight and start to really rewire the embodiment, which I think is what Dr. Christie was saying. How does that land with you, Yusuf?
Oh, sorry, great. This is great. Yeah, I was, that's what from my readings and my research, it's the self empathy, the inner work that what NVC, um, uh, you know, uh, principles are set. So I was kind of was trying to understand if it's still part of it. It's actually I see it's the core of it, and still going to be around. The title doesn't much changes. Like what you said, it's different but the same. So I got the gist of it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Yusuf. Yeah. And my hope is that once you have that grounding, then you get to go forth and change the world. So that's a small thing, but I expect you all to do it. And I just want to say welcome to Chija. I see that you just logged in. I'm sure you were at something else very important. And we're just going to be wrapping up here in a couple minutes. So, and the recordings will be made available.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a meeting, so just got done with that.
Gotcha. Welcome.
Do you typically see couples going together? Is it
Well,
normal, out of the norm?
well, usually it's the other person's fault. Let's be really clear. if your relationship is failing, it's usually the other person's fault. Just remember that. That's a joke. But we usually do have several couples. I would say between 2 and 4. Actually, it depends on the size of the group. I personally think it's a great thing if you can go. Occasionally, we have sons and daughters. Sorry, I mean parents and
Families.
kids. Yeah. And then you get to choose what you want to do. Do you want to work with someone else in a group and then go back to your partner, or do you want to be in the same group all the time? That kind of thing. So yes is the answer. And there's people who come as themselves, who are partnered and happily partnered, and they just come by themselves.
And then they go home and tell their partner that they need to learn NVC.
They need to change. That's right.
How many people are signed up so far? Do you expect a lot more?
Oh yeah, no, we're expecting a lot more. Yes. So yeah, we've met our goals. I just want to say we've met our goals, and I'm trying to get to my stretch goal in the next week before early bird. So early bird ends if you're watching this soon. So get your friends and your enemies signed up immediately for the lowest possible price. Yeah. Julia, how was that answer for you? Was that okay?
Yes.
All right. Well, we're coming up on the end. So maybe we'll just close it out. Michael, could you suggest just a little closing, something we could do?
May I offer a ground out? Since we grounded in, may we ground out. And the invitation again is just to pause, open our closed eyes, feet on the floor, sensing your feet. We talked about sensing self, so sensing your body. Sensing your heart. And just rest your attention in your heart space. And imagine breathing into your heart. And maybe even saying to yourself, I'm okay. I'm safe right at this moment. And then if you can imagine drawing into your heart space the sense of gratitude, of being grateful, maybe thinking of something you are grateful for, pulling something into the space of gratitude, or allowing gratitude to emerge to you. Either option. Feel that, hold that experience, that moment, those words, or imagine or create those moments, that experience, that words that you're grateful for. Invite that energy into your body, into your heart space. And maybe send it out to the world, to all beings, to all of humanity, or just to a loved one, or even to someone that you struggle with. But holding the sense of gratitude. And pull it back in for yourself, that you can leave with some of it. And then just invite you to open your eyes. And thank you for being here. Thank you all. Grateful for your presence. I'm really excited about Yusuf and Julia being here. It's a profound gift as a couple to go on this journey together. And so that's wonderful. To Eric, to Trisha, to Pam, to Taja. I hope I said that correctly. Many blessings to you all. Tija. Mhm.
Thank you so much. We're
Mhm.
excited to add to our support system and mentorships. So thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. If you could all just unmute and make a little noise for our friends, Dr. Michael Christie, Trisha.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Pam. Bless you.
Yes, you too. Hi, Titsa.
Hi.